between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go, here we go. 10-2, son. Check it back at 66. Roll it, rock. Bravo.
On 1st and 10, Love. He gets this to Davante Adams. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Coming to you, coming to you. Watch safety creep, watch safety creeping. Safety. Ready.
Now a draw play. This is Jones. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. To throw on 2nd down. Love. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10, right at the 40. Off play action. Love. Dancing to his left. He'll try and run it. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Coming, baby, I'm coming, baby. Wild, 64, weak.
They'll try the right side with Jones. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. And chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Off the play fake. Love. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. Throwing on 1st down. Love. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jordan Evans coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Off play action. Love. And the ball comes out. Love lost it. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. Trubisky will throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Here's Colder. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And Ingram hauls it in. That's good for a first down. Here's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. On second down, it's Coleman. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go. Now they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 18. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think in clement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
We're scoreless after 1.
No score. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to turn you up. Don't get nervous. 58's the mark.
On second and 11 now. Trubisky into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Off the play fake. Love. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They work again from the 38 on second and 10. Off-play action. Love. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
Let's go, defense. Run, touch. 58, boys, 58. 58, Mike.
Second down and goal. Trubisky. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Evan Ingram there to make the grab as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Operating from the gun, Love. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep is Philip Dorsett. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They scored a touchdown the last time they had the football, but things going to be a little bit more difficult this time.
No, certainly, because where they're starting, the goal isn't even thinking about a touchdown at this point. They're thinking about field position. A couple of first downs in order to give some room for their punter and maybe flip the field position for their defense.
At the 2-yard line.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now Trubisky back into his end zone. This one complete to Coleman. And he's only able to get it to right around the 3. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down.
51 the mic, boy, 51. Rip left, rip left. Alert.
Now it's Trubisky throwing deep here for Coleman. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. You. Echo, 58, boy, 58 to Mike.
Off the play fake. Love. And he's going to be hit and taken down. back right around the 48-yard line. And when a free safety goes like he did there, he better be sure he's going to be able to make a play.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, because I have a feeling that the defensive coordinator and head coach are on the sideline screaming, no, no, no. Good play.
Yeah, good job, buddy. Looking to throw. Love. And the pressure gets to him again. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Throwing on 3rd and long. Love. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And with the snow here, maybe asking too much of the kicker to try a field goal, so instead, offense on the field, they'll go for it on 4th down.
Check, 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 check.
They'll run it with Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute, because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call?
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Back to throw. Love. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. From the gun, Love. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Gay's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off at the 30. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
He'll let it go deep for Foster. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Chicago. Robert Foster, 55 yards as the Bears push further out in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off play action. Love rolling to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Khalil Mack able to run him down for a loss of a yard. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Off the play fake. Love. And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On second down, it's Coleman. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now Trubisky, nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Rashawn Gary with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. And this one is right down Broadway. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you... Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On 3rd down, Love steps away to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Bilal Nichols in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And this is incomplete. Coverage there by Kevon Seymour. Down 2 scores. I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
Throwing here, Trubisky. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Preston Smith in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here's Trubisky. Finds his tight end Ingram. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense has got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 37. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Let's make these babies ready.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Love over the middle, complete. That's McKenzie. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 24-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And it's intercepted at the goal line. T.J. Green with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. This is Coleman. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Here's Trubisky to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Even, 4 down, even. Under 10, under 10. 64, weak.
To throw again. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there for a milestone sack. That's number 150 of his great career. The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16.
Check three.
Operating from the gun. Love. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
On 4th down, Love. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 33. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Shift, watch the shift. Rush in. Alert.
On 1st down, Coleman. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him. And he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. This is taken at the 3.
We got this. 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
26 Mike. Watch the run. 26 Mike.
On 1st down, Love escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Khalil Mack, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been
and my goodness, another interception. Picked off right around the 43. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. A that's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Come on, set. San Lobo. Cut. Let her.
Throwing after the interception. Love. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 29. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Coleman now. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
180.
26-yard line.
58, right there.
On 2nd down, this is Edmonds. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
Do it for us, for my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.